Awesome. Welcome to the premiere of Think and Grow Rich Africa. We are at this super launch that happened this day. I'm so excited to have someone, the think tank behind this whole thing, Miss Lerato Sithole. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a little bit about, I was talking to Scott earlier around how did she even get involved? You were telling your story there around the shortlisting. I didn't know this. How long does this shortlisting, and how did you know about it?
So I knew about it because I've been reading the book for a very long time. And obviously with reading the book, I became part of the Napoleon Hill Foundation.
Yes.
But there's no special person. You just join and you become part of that, right?
And you didn't know it was going to lead to...
I didn't know. So they made a call out and they said, are the mothers there that we're looking for mothers who've lived according to the principles of the book? Just write us your story. So I wrote my story. I submitted my story, but it wasn't like I was hoping to be in a movie. I did the story
at the time,
because it was taking me from this lockdown fever we had. It was during lockdown. So I thought, let me do something different. I'm going to write a story about me as a mother. So I wrote it, sent it through, and a month or so later they came and they said, we like your story, but there's thousands of you that applied, but we'll let you know. And then they came back of the outcome. Then they came back, they said there's hundreds. And I was like, okay. Then they said, now we need to start. Now there's about, the numbers got down to like... And then from there, the interviews and conversations started being intense. And then there I was then part of the 12 women that were
that were selected.
That were selected to be part of.
And then you had to fly into the US to meet the crew, the directors.
So the preparation before you fly is 12 weeks. So you deal with the storyteller, the cinematographer as well. They speak to you, then the narrators, producers. I don't know. I can't remember, but it's a 12-week preparation. And before you go right? And then I had to fly down to.
But then tell me, how do you select the player, the characters? And then
I don't know. It's Scott. It's what Scott does as a director.
He did that. But you just tell a story.
I just told my story.
You just told your story. So then he finds...
Then he said, look, the story does resonate with what he wants to achieve.
Then the characters he will find, the people. And these stories are authentic. What I saw on the screenplay is true stories, and they are moving.
And in fact, the first story, the story of Mary actually passed on now in April. In fact, I think we know it would be nice to honor her.
It would be nice.
But she passed on in April. The Mary that made a relationship with the killer of her son.
Oh my God! Seriously?
Yes.
Because in the screenplay there was this thing around forgiveness. I can't remember who.
Karen, the publisher.
That is a powerful thing. That forgiving yourself first.
Yes, first forgive yourself, and that what Mary did is a deeper level of forgiveness. I don't know if I like
to even befriend the perpetrator.
And they started a movement, an organization talking about exactly what they went through. There was also something else around resilience in the screen. As you know, in the Single Dads Network, we talk a lot about supporting young and old fathers that are really grappling with this thing of parenting or co-parenting. The last thing that I would ask you, how do you want to use this network to promote this thing around parenting, that you can't outsource it. You can't relegate it to either grandparents or someone else. What would your advice be? So, and I like that. You cannot. So when I realized, for example, in my case, that being in corporate is going to take me away from my children, my husband and I took a decision to homeschool our children. So we homeschooled them. And homeschool forced us to be involved. Forced me to be involved. Forced me to be involved in raising them. You cannot outsource parenting. And we should not even try. Don't outsource it to gadgets. Right?
Let's
not outsource it
That's
to
another
gadgets.
thing. Just to keep them busy, because you give them...
Exactly. Because children, we are given children as... It's a calling. God is saying you are an ambassador of this soul. And I am trusting you. And God wants you to come back and say, I gave you something, what are you giving back to me? Okay. Wow. So we know children do make choices, but it can't be because you outsource.
You outsource because you are busy or you're trying to keep them occupied.
Exactly. And because you just want. So one thing is that parenting doesn't say stop your dream, But parenting does say you can do both.
It can be concurrent.
Yes.
You said that down there.
Yes, you can actually do both. So there are things I traveled a lot, but what I do is that in the moments that I'm there, I make the moments count. So no cell phone, nothing. We engage in conversations. And I was engaged with my sons. I mean, our eldest son is 30, our youngest is 21. So, you know, but we engage deeply in conversations, relationships, you know, how they look at the world and so on. And you do that over dinner, over breakfast.
Wow, the things that you do. I was talking to Scott because he also says he's a single dad, raising a 10-year-old and a 14-year-old. He says he finds time to create bond. But for your kids, whether it's over dinner activities, how do you find time to create those bonds with your hectic schedule as a professional?
It's when you are at home. So when I'm not traveling or when I'm not writing a proposal, when I'm not in the client. So those weekends, those Sundays, if it's an hour where everybody's present, it's almost like the whole month.
It makes a big difference.
Because what happens, people spend 10 hours and nobody's present. We'll go to a restaurant, look at a family dinner, look at people holding their cell phones. In my family, when we're sitting in the dinner table, no cell phone. Even up to now, my kids are adults. But
so it's entrenched, the culture is entrenched.
Yeah, and it's also entrenched for us to have deep conversations. So my daughter,
not just like
daughter would say trouble in paradise, then I know there's trouble with the boyfriend or something, but then we talk about it.
But you engage.
I engage with my children to that level.
Wow.
To a really, really deep level.
I see amazing potential collaboration opportunities between your work and what we do. And like we were saying,
me too.
I think after shooting season 4 now, we're going to be shooting of the Single Dads Network. We really need to sit down and think, because the lessons from here we can transport them to our network. There's just so much to learn.
There's so much that's deep in there because, you know, I think what we've done is we took parenting and we put it on the side. We took being a professional and we put it on the side.
On the side.
We don't bring our whole self.
Okay.
So as a single parent, when you show up in the boardroom, why do you leave what you do to your son or your daughter outside and not do it to your employee, to the person that reports to you?
It's a good thing you're
right.
raising
So
now.
But the balance is we have to be together. If I'm a single parent and you are a single parent, yes, we probably separately single parenting.
Yes.
But if I say to you, like I said, here's my son, take care. I know there's a part that you're going to cover which I can't cover.
Yeah, because they need. Yes. There's that need for a dad.
You build that community.
You build that.
Exactly. The father thing I know. The father part, which is the sense of identity, is very important.
It's very important because kids resort to doing other things because they're looking for that identity, and they look at it in the wrong places.
Exactly.
Because the father is absent.
The father is very important.
Wow.
Very, very, very. It is a sense of identity. So,
and what you showed us down there, just for him to be here and to walk with you in this journey is phenomenal.
Exactly.
And the whole family is bonding in that kind of way, even through this project.
Yeah, no, even through. I mean, my sons, my goodness, they were
heavily involved
in their teams. I mean, they work in the company. In their teams, it's just like amazing. So the father thing,
support.
as I say, it's identity. One of the big thing about what we do in Think and Grow Rich is your definite major purpose. The purpose is who are you? But who are you if you don't know who you are? Who you are is in your father.
Is in your dad. That's where the identity comes from. I like this. You must come and visit our season 4 and be a guest. But listen, this thing is gonna blow up. This thing that has started today is gonna blow up, because when you said down there that we're gonna create movies about our stories, we're gonna find people to tell, because storytelling changes lives.
Our thing.
Changes lives. And there's enough in Africa to share.
Yes.
My sister,
Thank you so much.
all the best. Thank you so much. This was beautiful.
Absolutely.